HeyJoanie is a 1980s rock and roll inspired premium denim brand that was made for petites. Although the denim is tailored for petites, they also have longer length denim for those with longer legs. This brand was actually inspired by Joan Jett. A lot of you may know her from the songs I Love Rock and Roll or Bad Reputation. So HeyJoanie incorporates that 80s rock and roll aesthetic and nostalgia and puts them into a modern denim design. Not only is their brand aesthetic super cool, they're also a sustainably conscious brand by creating classic and timeless pieces that can withstand the changing trends. And this brand is also committed to sustainability by incorporating organic or recycled materials and eco-friendly dyes. And they partner with local factories to reduce their production carbon footprint. HeyJoanie actually reached out to me to see if they could send me a couple pair of jeans to show you guys how they fit and how they look. They want me to give my honest opinions, so I'm really excited to see how this denim brand holds up compared to all the other jeans that we've tried on this channel so far. Per usual, I will show you guys what these jeans look like on and how they fit, if they're true to size or not. But not only that, I am gonna wear these jeans for 1 week each to really try to break them in to see how much they stretch, how they wear, and how well they mold to my body, especially since 2 of the pairs I chose are 100% cotton, and what they look like after the first wash, if they're gonna shrink back to the original size or smaller. So I really want to put these jeans to the test, especially because they're premium denim. I just received the package yesterday, and this package is heavy. The first pair of jeans that I chose were the Chelsea high-rise straight crop jeans in the shade Time of the Season. So it's essentially a black straight leg pant, and I wanted to get this because I still haven't found a good black straight leg pant yet. The straight leg black pair of jeans that I did end up choosing from Levi's has a completely different wash. It's a little more gray and a little harder to dress up. It's definitely more of a casual pant. So I chose this one with like a very black dye, a little bit of a blue tone to see how it would fade, and with the intention of wearing this dressed up or dressed down. I was also curious to see how cropped it would be, because so far all of the pants that I've tried, even at the shortest length, has not been cropped for me. So I'm very eager to see if these are actually cropped. I got this in the size 27. They also have long versions of the pants that has a longer inseam, and I chose my size based off of my measurements and the measurements provided on the size chart. So even though this is a size 27, just for comparison, the measurements are the same as a Levi's size 29. This feels pretty heavyweight. It's probably about the same weight of Everlane jeans, and this one's made with 100% Turkish cotton. So I'm not posing at all right now, so you can see how the denim looks by itself. I do notice that they are very tapered and they're very fitted through the thigh, and then they do kind of go in towards the knee first before kind of flaring back out. And I have tried all of these on already, so these are the tightest pair and they're all in the same size. They are the tightest around the waist area, but I'm still able to button them, and even though they're tight, they don't squish my butt too much. A lot of jeans, especially straight jeans, if they fit around my waist, they immediately flatten my butt, and I just don't like that look. So these give a really nice shape. The butt pockets are right on the butt, not higher, not lower, so it is a very well pieced together pair of pants. Like, I do feel like it was made for me. They fit perfect all throughout. Like, although they're snug, I feel like they were made for my measurements. Like, that's how perfect it fits. And although they are supposed to be straight leg and they kind of come in at the knee and then come back out, at least when I look in the mirror, that's the way it looks. I think as I wear them and it naturally like creases to my knee and to my hips, I feel like the shape of the pant will end up looking a little more straight. So I'm really eager to see how the shape of this pair of pants changes as I wear it more. But as of right now, they're so comfortable and you can really feel the quality in the denim. And just for reference, even though this is TMI, I'm just about to start my period. So I'm at the most bloated I would be in my time of month, and this still fits so beautifully. And even though they're 100% cotton, they have a good amount of stretch in them. I feel like I could squat comfortably. If I were to drop something on the floor, I could pick it up comfortably. It's just a very comfortable pair of pants. Sorry, I realized the tag might have been a little distracting, so I cut it off so now you can see the pant for what they are. They are definitely just so beautiful. They make me feel so confident. The second pair of jeans I chose is actually one of their best selling. This is the Coney Island Whitefish High Rise Wide Jean. In the color That'll Be the Day, and I also got this in a size 27. I do have a wide leg jean to compare this to, the Levi's Low Loose jean that I've been wearing almost daily. So this will be a really cool comparison to see how these wide leg jeans look in comparison to the Levi's. This one is maybe 3/4 of the weight of that jean, but weight isn't everything that you look at when you're looking at the quality of a denim pant. This jean is actually really cool because if you take a look inside of the jean, inside the pant leg at the seam, this seam means that this pair of jeans is made from selvedge denim. So very long story short, selvedge denim is a more durable denim. To make selvedge denim, it is more labor intensive and more expensive to produce since it requires more time and attention to detail to produce selvedge denim versus non-selvedge denim. And manufacturers of selvedge usually invest in better quality yarn and dye, resulting in an overall superior final product. So if you're still a beginner into denim like I am, here's some reasons why selvedge denim is better than regular denim. Selvedge denim has that finished edge that can't unravel, so they're sturdier, and the quality of the denim across multiple batches should be more unified because each sheet of denim is smaller or produced in smaller batches. And I've been reading all over the internet that a lot of people buying selvedge denim want to be connected to the history of denim, and by buying selvedge denim, it connects you to a rich history of artisans with an extreme focus on quality. But I'll put some of the resources I've read from in the description box down below. But I've always been around people who have been super into denim and super into jeans and fading their own jeans. Like I had a friend in high school who would sit in a bathtub in his jeans so that they would fade and mold to his body. And it's just a really fun process when you get into buying jeans that you keep wearing them until you can hold them up and see your body molded into this pair of jeans like this pair of jeans was made for you. But let's move on and see how this fits. So these are definitely not as like a perfect fit as the last pair are, just because they are wide leg. However, these are wide leg, but they're still like fitted throughout my hip before they go down, so I feel like they look way less bulky than my other wide leg pants. Like this is definitely a more tailored wide leg look, and these are high-waisted, so it covers my belly button completely, but it also doesn't look like it's too high, which I really appreciate. I don't feel like it makes my proportions look weird. And again, the butt pockets are right where they're supposed to be. They're not too high and they're not too low, but I do want to compare this wide leg jean to the Levi's that I have. Not like one is better or worse, just because they're so different. So this is the Levi's Low Loose jean. They've stretched out a little bit because I've been wearing them almost daily and they haven't been washed yet. So they have been molding to my body really well, and they know where my knees are, which is why they've kind of stretched out and kind of look a little barrely right now, especially because I don't have shoes on. They definitely look better with shoes on because it gives me a little more height, and these are just a tad too long for me. But I do have hopes that when I do wash these for the first time, they'll shrink to my body and look a lot better because, like I said, they've stretched out a little bit, but these are much more loose comparatively. In the thigh, these kind of just go from my hip down, so they're not fitted through the thigh at all, whereas the HeyJoanie jeans are fitted through at least this part of the thigh, and then they just go straight down. So they're definitely a little more fitted of a wide leg pant versus these Levi's. Again, they're completely different looks and I like them both for different reasons, but I just wanted to show you guys the comparison. The last pair of jeans that I got are the vintage high-rise flare Lala jeans in the shade Imagine, also in the size 27. This one does have more stretch to them. It's made with 56.9% cotton, 21.3% polyester, 20.3% lyocell, and 1.5% spandex. The size chart did confuse me a little bit, but I think the size is measuring the jean itself instead of what your measurements are. So I essentially got the same size in all of the jeans, despite the size guide for the Lala jean looking much smaller. So I'm also very curious to see how this will fit. I was mainly looking for a very classic flare pant that's not too trendy and will be able to stand the test of time. So essentially, if it fits and looks good on me and my body. And I chose this one in particular for a flare jean because it looks really fitted through the hip and thigh area and flares out below the knee, but not in a way that's too drastic or looks too flared or looks too 2000s. These jeans are very comfortable. They fit true to size. They fit me really well. So 27s across the board seem to be a very consistent sizing. The first pair of black jeans though, I do feel like they hug me in just a different way that I've never experienced before versus the rest of these jeans. I feel like they were like made for my body. They fit really, really nice. However, all of these other jeans have also fit really nice. And again, they don't flatten my butt at all, which I really appreciate. And the length is also really nice. The rise actually ends right below my belly button, so they're not as high as the wide leg pant. And although these are like labeled as a high-rise jean, I wouldn't even call it a high-rise jean. I would say this is more like a mid-rise. You can squat and get back up and the jeans kind of stay in place. You don't have to like re-tug them up. After moving around a bit more in the jeans, I do feel like the flare looks a lot better versus when it first came out of the box. When it first came out of the box, it kind of flared a lot, but now as I move and the jean knows to go like front and back, I feel like the flare looks really nice. It's not too extreme of a flare, but it's not too minimal of a flare either. So although these are factory faded, I am eager to see how these will fade more as I wear them more, and if the fade will become a little more custom to my body, and how the factory fade affects the overall look of the jean as I wear them more. So like I said, I'm going to be wearing these jeans exclusively for the next 1 to 2 weeks, and I'm going to go exercise in them, run in them, go out in them, sit in them all day, but I'll definitely check back in before the first wash and again right after I wash them to see how well it faded, how much they shrank if at all, and my overall final thoughts on this brand.
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm back. I asked my boyfriend what else I should include in this selvedge denim jean review and comparison, and he said that especially 2 pairs of pants from the same company, one being non-selvedge and one being a selvedge, to take a look at the jean up close and compare the two and, you know, see what the difference is. So that's what we're gonna do. You can thank him for that. So I don't really know what I'm looking at here. On the initial look, it is a little different because these are dyed differently, but the non-selvedge pair seems to look like just any pair of jeans. You know what I mean? They just look like jeans. They're a little fluffy and the weave looks a lot softer, like less defined. Whereas the selvedge denim jeans, and maybe this could be the dye, but the weave looks very precise. And I think the biggest difference is on the inside of the jean. It's definitely a lot grainier on the selvedge pair and just more precise of a weave versus the inside of the traditional pair of jeans. It's a lot smoother and less grainy. So I'm eager to see why this was important to do and how this changes as we wear and wash them.
2 seconds later.
So I came back, I got a little more information from him. So you want to look at the consistency of the weave and also the way it's able to move, like the flexibility of the fabric. And this one is like very, flexible, but this grainier side right here means that it wasn't shaved or wasn't shaved down as much, meaning that it'll take longer to wear down. Your pants won't get distressed as fast, especially on those like heavy contact areas like your inner thighs or the knees. That is why selvedge denim is usually more of a durable denim. Were you guys surprised? This is just what I look like on the regular. I was gonna get ready today, but we just got back from a road trip and I gotta clean, I gotta wash the jeans, I gotta do laundry. So instead of trying to look nice and, you know, still looking like this, I thought I would just come on here looking like this. Anyway, these are the Lala jeans. I definitely wore these the least, not because they're not cute or they're uncomfortable or anything like that. I think I just gravitated towards the other pairs just because they were 100% cotton, therefore they had a higher likelihood of molding to my body the more I wore them before the first wash. These definitely fell to the bottom of the priority list, but every time I put them on, I do feel like they're so cute and they're very comfortable still. They're not more or less comfortable, they're just a lighter pant in weight and they're a little more stretchy. I still really like these. These are what I'm going to be wearing today to clean, so no real update on them. These jeans are the wide leg jeans. I wore these an equal amount as the Chelsea straight leg. You can see, I mean, they were in the luggage, so they're a little flat now, but you can really see where my knees typically bend at, and they're creasing really nicely around the pocket area. I wore these on the way to visiting my parents, so it was a long time in the car and they're pretty comfortable. I have no complaints about them. And yeah, I will put these on in a second too. These are the Chelsea straight leg after 2 weeks of wear. You can again see where the knee naturally bends at. It's creasing really nicely along the pocket area, and I have been gravitating towards these. I also wore these on the road trip on the way back home, and although they are a more like fitted pant, it was still very comfortable. And even for how little I wore the Lala jeans, you can still see where the knees are bending, and when I put them on, they do fit really nicely, and you start seeing where my creases naturally crease around the pocket area, and it's pretty spot on to the factory fade, like how the pant comes already, which is really nice to know. These are the wide leg jeans on after 2 weeks, and again, I feel like they are like pretty much molded to my leg shape and like my bottom area too. They didn't stretch out as much as the Levi's wide leg pants did, so we'll see how much they shrink. But after 2 weeks of wear, even without washing it yet, they're still wearable. They're not like extremely big and baggy. These are the Chelsea straight leg jeans, and I remember when I first put them on, they were a little snug, but not like too tight. They just felt really like snatched, and now the thigh area is a little more loose from when I initially got them, but they're not too loose now. They fit perfect still, so they didn't stretch out too much. But again, I do feel like they've really like molded to my body now. Like it knows where it needs to like come out and when it needs to be a little tighter. I do feel like it's a pretty custom fit at this point, and I have been gravitating towards these more. Although I did wear the wide leg and these like equally, I think I like the way I look in these like a lot more. So to wash these, I'm gonna flip them inside out. I'm gonna fill up my bathtub with cold water, add a little Woolite Dark to it, and then let these soak for about like 30 minutes. And then I'll drain the bathtub and then put some fresh cold water in there, let these soak a little bit longer. A really cool trick to wring out your jeans when you're ready to dry them is to start rolling them from like the leg area and roll them all the way up to the waistband. And it gets out a decent amount of the water. It's just not gonna drip all over when you go put it wherever it's gonna dry. It doesn't affect the shape of the pant at all or anything like that. When I dry them, I'm gonna lay them out in the shade to air dry, and I'll check back after. Before we go to the grand reveal, I do want to note that as I was washing the jeans, not that much dye came out of them as I was washing them. You guys are really seeing me in all of my glory this video. Are you guys as excited as I am to see what these jeans look like after their first wash? Probably not. Watch there not be like any noticeable difference in these jeans after washing them. Ta-da! So they really didn't fade at all. And for wide leg pants, I don't really need them to be like ultra faded. This is actually a pretty good result for me. The fact that it looks brand new after the first wash and the denim feels like really stiff again. I will put them on in a second to see how they fit and if the cotton held on to my shape. But other than that, yeah, there's no big difference between the before and after, which is good. You can see the waistband has faded just a little bit where it typically like folds around my waist as I like sit and whatnot. You can see a little bit of fading going on right here. Jeans will reveal all of your secrets. This fade right here is from when I like lean on the countertop with my waist, because when I do dishes or when I'm just like, you know, standing, I always like lean my hips against the countertop, which is, you know, not good. Use your core when you stand up, not like me. But yes, that is what this is from. There may be just like the tiniest bit of fading on the inner thigh where it's a heavy friction area as I walk, and maybe just like the slightest amount of fade down the center on the thigh area. If you can see right here, just the babyest amount of fading is happening right around where my knees bend. So this is the back of the jean. And for the Chelsea straight leg, the non-selvage denim pair, it definitely feels like a lot softer after the first wash compared to the wide leg pant that is a selvage denim. Oh, you can see like just a tiny bit of fading happening around the pocket area, but again, no huge difference, which again is good so that it'll look black and, you know, new for a lot longer throughout multiple washes. You can see the back right here is a little faded, again on the waistband where it rolls down as I sit, and again this front area is a little faded where I lean against the countertop. And what's really cool is like I can't really tell if this is a fade or not, but for sure it's creased where it typically creases. So the cotton definitely remembers where I typically sit and where it usually creases around the pocket area, but nothing too crazy and nothing on the back of the leg really. Now we'll see if it shrunk or not after washing it, because sometimes after the first wash, that's when the jean will shrink the most. After the second or third, it'll shrink just the tiniest amount, but after that it shouldn't shrink anymore. And those typically are also like shrink to fit jeans too. I think it's a little more common for jeans for men. Since you guys have been just so nice and not mean about me not knowing how to style clothes, I'm going to attempt to style these jeans and see what outfits we can put together. They're not going to be specific to any occasion because that is another step that I have not figured out yet, but I have noticed that certain shoes look better with these pant styles versus others. So let's try to put together some outfits. We're gonna ignore the top for a second. For the fitment of the pant, it did shrink back to probably its original size. It still buttons and everything. And like I said before, it really didn't stretch out too much, but after the first wash it did shrink back to what it originally was. And I've consulted with the expert, aka my boyfriend, and he said that the fact that it didn't fade drastically after the first wash means that you don't have to worry about the dye rubbing off on like the couch when you sit, or jackets or clothes or anything like that. And it's also good that these pants are retaining its original color and its richness in color, because for a wide leg pant you kind of want it to look more like classic. I personally wouldn't want that like intensely faded look for this style of jean anyway. And although it shrunk back to like its original size, it still remembered where my butt protrudes and where my knees are. So the cotton does remember like the shape of my legs. Now, as for style, I had an image. I don't really think it's happening. I think we're back at the Steve Jobs look. It could be the turtleneck, given a little bit of the rock vibes. So let me change the shirt. Let me try this again. So I still went with a more fitted top. I feel like a more fitted top with a wider leg pant just gives a little more balance to the whole outfit. Editing Iris, we'll give our opinions right here. But I feel like this works a little bit better. Especially versus like a wide top. I think a slim fit or even like a more fitted shirt looks better with a wide leg pant. And I do have two shoe options to show you guys. This first option is the Thursday boot loafers, and these are like my favorite shoes because I think they look so cool and so cute. But when I put these on, I thought they were cute initially, but I think it is too unshapely. Why am I standing like this? This looks so weird. The shoe is a little too chunky to go with the wide leg pant. I think just overall it's just unbalanced or too chunky. Yeah, I was going for like cool and it turned out to be like ultra uncool. So these shoes really don't work with these pants. But I've been seeing people style like wide leg pants with either like a ballet flat or maybe like a more pointed toe shoe. So I pulled out these ones to give it a try. And although this might be like a little weird still, I do think it looks a lot better than with a loafer, especially from like the front view. It just makes everything like more sleek down there and kind of like elevates the whole outfit. From the side, I don't know, I think it looks like maybe it could be a little weird. Not too sure about that. Maybe the heel's a little too high, but I feel like this is, you know, like going somewhere, maybe. Not me. I'm not going anywhere looking like this, but the outfit is going somewhere, potentially, maybe. So I asked my boyfriend on his thoughts again, and he was like, hey, what about a cuff? And I was like, you know, we'll try. I feel like a clown, you know, in like clown pants. Not too sure. I feel like I've seen people do this and pull it off and look really cute, and I think this is not how to do it. I think I did it wrong. These pants also shrunk back to their original sizing. Again, they can zip and they fit fine. The pants do really like hold you in around like the thigh, the butt area, and like the waist area. Not in an uncomfortable way. When you sit and everything, it doesn't like dig into your waist too much or anything like that. And I did notice that with these pants, instead of wearing like a tight top like this, something a little more loose on top to balance out the straight leg looks a little more balanced. So I'll be right back. So even though this isn't like a skinny jean, which is what you usually imagine with an oversized sweater, it's fitted enough for it to like balance out a really oversized sweater, in my opinion, I think. The fact that it doesn't continue to taper down to your ankles, it just goes straight down because it's a straight leg. I think it's a really flattering cut, and I'm gonna try on the same shoe options for you guys, and I think the loafer might work with these pants. The loafers definitely look a lot better with these pants because a little bit of ankle is showing, kind of breaks up the whole, you know, bulky look. So I do think loafers look cute with this. Maybe not with the sweater, it might be a little off, a little weird. Maybe with a different top, but I think pant and shoe, this combo works. You may be asking, Iris, you've been wearing these pants for like weeks. What have you been wearing it with? Honestly, t-shirts and some sneakers. It's pretty much my go-to. I bought these shoes, only wore them a few times because I don't know how to style them with anything, but I think they work well with these pants. I also wanted to try these shoes on with these pants, and I think they could work. You know, from the side, it does look very seamless. And since this boot is like a little more fitted around the ankle, it still shows the shape of my ankles. So I think it could work, maybe not with a sweater. I also think if you're gonna wear this together, you're gonna like play it fast and loose, because if your pants come up a little too much and you start seeing like the skin of your leg in between the top of the boot and the bottom of the pant, it kind of breaks up the whole look, and then it kind of looks a little weird. So, you know, just try not to do this too much. I don't know what I'm saying. Editing Iris, what do we think? Does this work? Does this not work? I also wanted to point out that like a really oversized coat could also work with the straight leg pant. Casual, little different, you know? Yeah? No? Maybe a little more of a sleek look if you got a, you know, a little bit of this thing going on. What is it called? A dust crop duster. It's probably not what it's called. And with wide leg pants, these long things also kind of looks nice. I feel like this also looks really like put together, but a little more, you know, a little more on the dressed up side, but still could be kind of casual. And most importantly, I think these pants look okay in this outfit with my favorite jacket that I will be wearing every day once it's no longer 95 degrees outside. It's a very versatile pant. I feel like it's a very versatile pant if you have the right shoes to go with it. Again, I've been wearing them with sneakers and they look great. So far, they go with everything in my closet, which is not much, but this is what I have styled. Like we noted in the big reveal, it didn't fade that drastically after the first wash, which is actually preferable in this instance for these two styles in particular, because for a wide leg pant, you don't want like a heavily faded jean. It kind of makes it go from a formal or versatile pant to a only casual pant. So I do think for these styles in particular, the fact that it didn't fade right away is actually a good thing. And for me personally, for my black jeans, I do want them to stay black longer and like be a true black versus a faded black, because once they get too faded, again, they kind of look a little more casual, versus these pants can be a little more versatile. They could be dressed up or dressed down right now. But let me go through each pair of pants and give you my final review. As I was wearing them, I definitely gravitated towards a certain style, and it was not the Lala jeans. I thought the Lala jeans were going to be my most worn, or the ones I was gravitated towards the most. And although I do really like them, they're really comfortable, they're really soft, and every time I do put them on, I do feel like it's pretty flattering. I think it is a certain look, and I just on my day-to-day don't gravitate towards that look, which is why I didn't wear these as much. But I do really like the color of them. Again, I really like the fit of them. They feel really comfortable. These actually were the most loose compared to the other two pairs, and the fact that they're like more stretchy makes them just really comfortable. Like, I wore them to clean yesterday and I didn't even notice that I was wearing jeans. Like, that's how comfortable they were. So overall, I do really like these. I just didn't gravitate towards them as much as I did the other two. Next up is the wide leg pant. I think the shoe choice is pretty important for these pants because the shoe can kind of make or break the outfit. I think they're still really flattering, and I think it's like a really elevated look. So I do really like these. Last but very much not least, these are the Chelsea straight leg jeans, and these have been my favorite. I think they make me look the most flattering, and they're very comfortable. The way they like hug my hip and thigh area, it's a very like supportive hug, but it's not too tight at all. And after you break it in, after like the first wear, the way it maintains its straight leg from the thigh down, or like the knee down, it's just a really flattering cut. I think the style is so versatile. Again, you could dress it up, you could dress it down. I think it's like a great everyday jean. I've definitely never felt better in a pair of jeans. Like, I don't think I've looked this good in a pair of jeans than these jeans have made me look. And I love the length of the pant. Like, I don't have to cuff them for it to be an ankle length like you saw with the loafers. I mean, this is pre-editing, so I don't know, it might look really wild on camera, but I think in the mirror at least it looks really nice with loafers. I don't know, I really like these pair of pants. These are actually my new favorite jeans, like on the daily. I prefer these over any of the jeans I've bought thus far, like ever. These are definitely superior to any other jean I've like put on my body. Oh, and I forgot to mention, these all have zippers, so they're not button flies. If you guys liked any of these jeans, or if you are eyeing any of their jeans on their website, I do have a discount code for you guys. If you use the code IRIS20 off at checkout, you'll get 20% off your order, and I'll also get a commission. So it's a win-win. Obviously, you don't have to, you can pay full price if you'd like, but I'm actually blown away by the quality of these jeans, especially for being like 5'4" and having shorter legs. I just thought my legs would perpetually just look short in anything that I wear, and that could not be further from the case because these jeans, like, I felt like they were made for me. So I'm just really impressed by them, and I would highly recommend any of you looking for jeans to check them out. Their sizing chart is really accurate, so just measure yourself before you buy any of the jeans, and I don't think you'll run into any problems. And if you're also petite, don't worry about the high rise being too high. They're high rise for a petite body, so it actually hits me at the right place for a jean to be a high rise and not be too high where it looks like the jeans are up to my boobs. So I really could not recommend this brand enough. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and thank you HeyJoanie for these jeans, because I've never felt better wearing a pair of jeans than I have these past 2 weeks. That is all I have for you guys today. I will see you next time. Bye! For those of you who are still here, and for those of you who have like left comments, I'm so sorry if my responses to your comments come off a little weird. Sometimes like I can't catch tone over text, and if you guys are making a joke, it just goes straight over my head. That's why I'm so sorry. I'm just, you know, a little awkward and don't really know how to talk to people casually as I get to know them, so bear with me. Please don't be afraid to leave comments. I love reading them. I think it's so special when you guys take the time to leave comments for me. Believe me, thinking about my responses have kept me up at night because I realized much later that I might have misread the tone of some of the comments. Anyway, I just wanted to say I appreciate you all, and please don't feel afraid to leave comments.